Now, here's your host of Joker's Ace, General A.A. Ron.
Thank you. I'm General A.A. Ron, and it's time for everyone's favorite comedy game show, Joker's Ace.
Ooh.
All right. Thank you so much. Oh, my gosh. The rules for Joker Ace are simple. Each comedian combatant does their 5-minute set, while the mysterious comedian judge will be looking for their setup punch and appearance in front of the live studio audience. Warning combatants, if you say the F or C word, the F-bomb will come bomb your set, and you can't be Joker Ace. 2 other rules to Joker's Ace. If you leave 25 seconds on the clock, it's considered a dud, and you can't be crowned Joker Ace. But if you go over your time, it sets off a time bomb, and you can't be considered Joker Ace. All right? With that being said, let's welcome our mysterious comedian judge tonight, Patio Furniture, everybody. Patio Furniture. Patio Furniture. Yeah, Patio Furniture. Patio, hold on. I think Patty was trying to call me here. Hold on a second. Yeah? No, they were clapping for you. Sorry. They're in the studio, but they're trying to call me all night long. Thank you so much. All right, so that is Patio Furniture. They have been a comedian for years, decades. I think they came from the homeland, and but they said they were patio furniture, and I said it's too cold to put them outside. It's Michigan. It's not springtime yet, so it's over with. So with that being said, let's meet our comedian combatants for this game, shall we? Contestant number 1.
Hi, I'm Bob Lopatkin from Long Island, New York.
All right, contestant number 2.
Hi, I'm Carolynn Mincin, and I'm in the basement where my husband keeps me. In New Jersey.
All right, contestant number 3.
Hi, I'm Larry DiBona. I'm from South Jersey, and I am the only person that likes Jersey.
All right, yeah, right. So these comedian combatants will be doing combat on the game show known as Joker's Ace. So comedian combatants, to your battle stations. Comedian combatants, to your battle stations. As we go to our first comedian combatant for the game tonight, let's give it up for Robert Lopatkin, everybody. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Wow, let's see what's in the news. Oh, these days, these things have been crazy these last days since Trump's been in the White House. You probably heard that liberal women have been withholding sex from their partners as soon as they knew that Donald Trump was going to be president.
Whoa.
I'm a little embarrassed to admit it that my wife was one of them.
Oh.
So I confronted her. I said, "Hey, dear, how did you know Trump was going to become president 32 years ago?" This week I just had my 38th wedding anniversary.
Woo,
Thank you so much. Over the past 38 years, we've done quite a bit of traveling. We've been on a number of cruises over the years, and we like to play a game and track all the different ports that we've had sex in. And I kept a list. Last I looked, she was 6 ahead. So on one cruise, my wife actually ordered massages to our room for my birthday, and we got to pick the masseuse. Now, I knew if I picked the female masseuse and got excited, my wife would have a lot of questions for me. So I picked the male masseuse. Now I have a lot of questions for me. Now, we love to travel, but we hate the commercial airlines. Oh, by the way, do you remember about a year and a half ago, Frontier and Spirit Air tried to merge?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, this would have been a classic example of 2 wrongs don't make a flight. I could just hear that pre-flight briefing now. Please contact your nearest flight attendant if you have any extra leg room. We can fix that. In an unlikely event of loss of cabin pressure, to get your oxygen mask down, you will need exact change. I'll cross that one out. We travel coach a lot, but I like to call it last class. And I do what everyone else does in last class when they board the plane. I try to peek through that curtain to see what those people in first class have wasted their money on.
No.
I think that curtain separating first and last class is something out of a David Copperfield prop room. See, in first class, the flight attendants look like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt as they're handing out champagne and caviar and hot towels. And as they walk through that curtain, they transform into Danny DeVito and Roseanne Barr, tossing crackers and juice boxes and wet naps at you. Our last trip a few weeks ago, we flew to Florida to visit friends and actually did a show. Our first stop was St. Augustine, the oldest city in the U.S. They had an amazing maritime museum that had a lighthouse built by the settlers in 1737. Then we drove to Boca. Now, I don't want to say those people in Boca are old, but I think we met the St. Augustine Lighthouse builders' parents.
Oh.
Long way to go. I did a show in Century Village. It didn't go very well. I should have seen the red flags. The show was called for 4:30, just after dinner. The drink special was called the Turkey Trot. The Turkey Trot. It was wild turkey and prune juice.
Oh.
And they had valet parking for wheelchairs and gurneys. Now, not only are they old, but I think they're not too good looking either. I walked by the pickleball court and there was a big sign that said all players, without exception, must wear a sports bra. Then we went to visit my cousin who just moved from New York to the Villages in Florida. Have you heard of this place?
Mm.
Oh my God, it's like a modern day hedonism for seniors.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting more action in her 60s than I got in my 20s. And she doesn't have to sneak down alone to a dark basement hoping her mom doesn't walk in. They have a secret code in the Villages where they place a colored towel on top of their golf cart, what else, that advertises the type of sexual activity they're looking for.
Ooh.
Green, a single looking for a one-night stand. Blue, a couple looking to swap partners for the night. Red, my husband just had a heart attack.
Whoa.
I'll be free after 8.
Oh.
I guess at the Villages, they're more worried about alligators than they are about crabs.
Oh,
They even have their own TV station, WSTD.
Oh.
And they created their own social media platform just for the seniors there. They didn't know what to call it for a long time, but they finally settled on Facebook. And this place has its own dating app that matches residents together by medical condition.
Hmm.
They call it Jewish Shingles.
Oh.
Thank you very much. I'm Bob Lopatkin. Nice to meet you.
All right, let's give it up for Bob Lopatkin, everybody. Yeah. Hey, Bob, where can we find you on social media?
BobLopatkin.com.
All right, go
Good
check that out, boblopatkin.com. And also, don't look for him in the Villages.
No.
Is there a towel color for I've broken my hip, but I still want sex?
I've fallen, but I can't get up. Right?
Yeah, all right. Patio furniture. What? No, you don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, come on. You're right there. Hello? You don't want to interrupt your drinking. I understand what day it is. I get it. Are you ready for the next comedian combatant? Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. We're ready for our second comedian combatant for this game. Let's give it up for Carolynn Mincin, everybody. Yeah.
thank you. Today marks exactly 7 years, 3 months, 21 days that I have been a recovering Roman Catholic. Yeah, my mother's toilet broke, okay? A big flood down in the basement. I expected Noah's Ark to float by any moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her to call her plumber to stop the flood, but no. She was busy watching her Catholic channel, Mother Angelica's Holy Rock and Rosary Hour. Mom wanted to wait until the next day to call the plumber because she had an important Catholic stuff scheduled, like our pilgrimage to Our Lady of Bingo. When I was a child on St. Patrick's Day, we always had corned beef and cabbage. That was the one day of the year that we could be Irish. However, if St. Patrick's Day fell on a Friday during Lent, you couldn't have corned beef because St. Patrick was a Catholic. Oh, in my house, you could because he was a Catholic. But figure. But, remember when Jesus wandered through the desert for 40 days and 40 nights without food, water, or Starbucks? During Lent, us Catholics showed our love for Jesus. So for 40 days and 40 nights, we suffered, we sacrificed, we gave up cake. However, it's a well-known secret that hot cross buns are the exception to the rule. It's the crosses on the buns that make them holy. You know, I mean, some Catholics use this as a time to go on diets. I'm pretty sure that when Jesus spent 40 days and 40 nights in the desert, he dropped a few pounds. And I don't think it was the diet he would recommend. I'm just saying, you know. Being Catholic can drive you crazy. Remember when the Vatican decided they were going to be shaking things up with the Catholic Mass and get it rocking and rolling while being all warm, touchy-feely? They invented the sign of peace. That means that you're wishing the peace of Christ to any person next to you in church by shaking hands. I don't want to touch anyone. I don't even want to touch my own husband. You know, I tried giving the sign of peace, you know, hey, peace be with you, or hey, peace be with you. My all-time favorite, the Vulcan peace sign. Both, yeah. Never caught on. I mean, like, what are you going to do if you're a germaphobe and you're going to shake hands and the person next to you sneezes in their hand and you've got a handful of schnozzle? It's like dripping as he reaches out for you, like, ew. Being Catholic is dangerous. You could catch a disease. During communion, you go up to drink from the holy chalice, and some son of a bee cuts you off. And he's like slobbering all over the cup. Like, and the cup holder lightly dabs the rim in between drinkers. Like, really? You go for a swig of the blood of Christ, you're going to come back with a cold sore. Yeah, you try explaining that to Father Murphy. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. My last confession was 5 weeks ago when I caught herpes in church. He'll slam you with the penitent from hell. Give me 100 Hail Marys for lying, 200 Our Fathers for catching herpes. Hit the ground and give me 300 push-ups. I want the name and number of the girl who gave you the herpes.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You know, the story you're about to hear is true. Names have not been changed because I really don't want to. But there was a cadet running laps in the police academy training center. He was wearing sweats, a pull-up hoodie. You know, 3 fellow cadets walked in, and they noticed his cute rear end on the track, right? So they start catcalling like, hey, my mid, you're looking fine. Come to Poppy. Damn, woman, you got some junk in that trunk. I just want a piece of that badonkadonk.
Oh.
And then the other one said, wow, female cadets are getting better looking. I didn't know the police were recruiting the Kardashians. Okay, that was got to be there. So the cadet stops running, pulls down the hoodie. It's my son.
Oh!
I said, whoa, Wesley, sorry, man, but from behind, you look like one fine woman. Woo! Why didn't you say something? He said, I was just waiting for the best offer.
That
I hit the timeline.
Yeah, you bet. All right, let's give it up for Carolynn Mincin, everybody. Yeah. All right, and Carolynn, where can we find you on social media?
Oh, www.carolynnmincin.com, and I'm on Instagram under Carolynn Mincin.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Carolynn. And that was, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Don't go to her church. Obviously, that's where Herpes Central is. Not even going there. Patio furniture. I can't drink green beer right now. No. Put down the phone. Put down the. Hello? Yeah, you're sitting right there. I can see you. Don't point at me. I can't drink during the show. You shouldn't be drinking either. Yeah, I will take some corned beef and hash afterwards. Thanks. Are you ready for the next Comedian Combatant?
Woo!
Okay. You are? Good. Thank you. All right. The next Comedian Combatant for this game. Let's give it up for Larry DiBona, everybody. Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me tonight. You're looking at this and you're thinking, what just showed up on my Zoom? Is that my dad? Is that my science teacher? Oh, no. That's my IT guy. People see IT guys like they see Winnie the Pooh. Nothing is hard to do, and I do nothing all day. Someone took my honey. Did you take my honey? Honey. I mean, if I'm supposed to warm you up for the next act, I'm supposed to be funny, but not too funny, and I think I'm hitting it out of the park. When I was a young man, I looked like Owen Wilson. Now I don't look like him anymore. I kind of just sound like him, but I can only do like one word. Wow. And I'll do that word. Wow. If it gets like really quiet and nobody laughs.
Okay.
Wow. When I was a kid, my mom said I was made in heaven by the angels.
Ooh.
And I know that after all these years of living in this body, I'm pretty sure that I was made on a Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock. I'm just this little baby coming down the conveyor belt, and all the cherubs are working on me. And I get to the end of the conveyor belt line, and the lead cherub looks down and he pulls the string and he yells, "Shut down the line! Does anybody have any noses?" Little guy in the back. "I got one left. What's it look like?" "It's really big." "Will it improve his personality?" "No." "Throw it up." "I dropped it. 5-second rule. I gotta leave. It's my turn to take care of the innocents. You like Disney? Everybody likes Walt Disney. Even people that don't like Walt Disney like Walt Disney. And around 1929, Walt Disney was sitting at his desk working and drawing a picture of a mouse, and he's thinking to himself, "I'm an adult. What the heck?" But he had to make the voice himself. He had to come up with the voice all by himself. He couldn't afford a voice actor. So it sounded something like this. "Oh, hello. Hi, I'm Mickey." But he was from Missouri. What if he was like from Philadelphia or New York? What would he sound like then? "Yo, Minnie, put the bed on. We're gonna have company. We're gonna have Josie and Jossie and John. He's all gonna come over, and then we're gonna put some meatballs. We're gonna put them in. We're gonna have some sausage, and then we're gonna go get those shell things. What are those shell things? The spoiled out. And then everything is gonna happen, and we're all gonna be happy, and everybody's gonna be here. It's gonna be so awesome." I know what you're thinking. Wow, I bet he was a cool teenager. My dad knew what kind of teenager I was. That's why he bought me my first car, a 1962 Chevrolet Biscayne with a hole over the headlight that whistled when you hit 50 miles an hour. And one day I was out driving my Chevrolet Biscayne, and I came up to a red light, and behind me was my friend Lou. Lou was right behind me in the car, and up next to me was a 1972 brand new red Corvette. And he looked at me and he went like this, "Okay." And I looked at him and I went, "Okay." And I looked at Lou and Lou went, "It's not okay. It's not okay." So I put my car in neutral and I revved the engine. And then the Corvette, he put his car in neutral and he revved the engine. Put my car in neutral and I revved the engine. And then the opposing light went from green to yellow and to red. And then it turned green and the Corvette took off and hit the speed of light. And I hit the gas, and then Lou pushed me all the way home. And you know, I actually do like pretty crappy crowd work. I mean, if I'm out in the crowd, it goes something like this. "Hey, how you doing?" "Okay." But I think it would be better if like Joe Pesci did crowd work. You know, that would be the ultimate thing. Right. "You mean to tell me this person came with you and you showed up here now?" "Why, you laughing? You think that's funny? Funny how? Tell me how that's funny. Tell me exactly. How is that funny?" That always makes people like kind of like not laugh, but I really enjoy it. Anyway, thank you very much. That's my bit.
All right, let's give it up for Larry DiBona, everybody. And Larry, where can we find you on social media?
Just Facebook. That's my real name.
All right, you'll find him just on Facebook, and also don't drag race him because he still has that 1962 Biscayne. Apparently,
Ew.
that's going to be tough. All right, now we have the hardest job for this whole game show. The mysterious comedian judge, Patio Furniture. It just told me they were a lawyer. They passed the bar. No, you were not. They passed the bar. No, Judge, I need to know who is Joker Ace for this game. Is it Robert Lopatkin, Carolynn Mincin, or Larry DiBona? No, put it down, would you? Come on, man. Oh, man. Yeah. Why can't you? You can mouth the words to me. You felt better telling me over the phone. You're on the bench? You mean you're actually a lawyer? You're a judge? No, you're just on the bench waiting for another drink. Who is the Joker Ace for tonight? Okay, all right, thank you. So Joker Ace for this game is Robert Lopatkin, everybody. And Robert,
Thank you.
you get to do something special, what we call a victory flyby, where you get to do 90 seconds, where you can thank the Academy, thank your friends, or do 90 seconds more material starting now.
Wow, thanks so much. I can tell you a little bit about my family. My mom was an only child. My dad was an only child. My sister was an only child. But I did have a wife and 2 daughters. Now, I'm pro-choice. But only to the point where the fetus can survive on its own. Now, I now know that can last all the way up into the 2nd trimester of graduate school. Oh my God. Last year, after about 200 years of school and lots of my money, my younger daughter finally graduated. She tells me she's now a microbiologist. How much money would it have cost for her to become a regular-sized biologist? If you know those little microaggressions, because it would have been nice if she had a little, kind of like a micro job and paid a little micro rent. One day my older daughter came to me and said, "Dad, guess what? The doctor diagnosed me as pregnant. You're going to be a grandfather." Before I could say one thing, she said, "Would you be the first to buy something for the baby?" I said, like a rattle or a blankie. She goes, "No, how about like a college tuition?"
Whoa, damn, holy.
I said, "You know what you need? You need a second opinion." Thank you very much.
All right, let's give it up for Robert Lopatkin one more time, everybody. That was awesome. Oh, my God. What a great Joker's Ace that was. And that has been Joker's Ace for tonight. I want to thank the comedians, Robert Lopatkin, Carolynn Mincin, and Larry DiBona. And also, let's give it up for our mysterious comedian judge. Let's give it up for Patio Furniture, who is at a furniture sale right now, 50% off. 50% off. So for me, the comedians and the judge, this has been an oddly funny production. Thank you.
Joker's Ace. Comedians compete. Who's the funniest? Take a seat. Joker's Ace. Joker's Ace. Joker's Ace.
This has been an Oddly Funny production.